I sat at the dinner table, pretending not to notice the way Olivia's brother, Jason, dominated every conversation like he was the main character of life itself. He talked about his exclusive client list, his crypto wins, his new car that he leased but bragged like he bought. My wife, Olivia, laughed at every line he delivered, touching his arm, boosting his ego, treating him like some god of success. Meanwhile, every so-called joke he made at my expense was met with her chuckles. Ethan's humble. He works with numbers, nothing glamorous. That's what she told people. He's smart but safe. Not wrong. It wasn't glamorous. And I let her think that. I didn't correct her when she introduced me as just an analyst. I didn't tell her why my emails disappeared after sending, why I had non-disclosure agreements before and after every assignment, or why my laptop required two-factor military-grade encryption. I let her believe I was small, predictable, and tame because I loved her once, deeply enough to shrink myself if it made her comfortable. But the problem with letting someone think you're harmless is that eventually they forget harmless does not mean powerless. The change was slow at first. Olivia stopped asking about my work. She stopped waiting for me to come home. She spent more nights out, supporting Jason's new business dinners, as she called them. Jason became a fixture in our house first as the entertaining brother, then as the whisperer behind her decisions, then as the shadow in every argument we had. And then the night came when everything snapped quietly, almost elegantly. I returned from a classified assignment earlier than scheduled. Our house was lit only by the soft glow of the dining room. I walked in to find Olivia and Jason huddled over documents spread across the table, not family photos. Not a renovation plan. No financial projections, investment charts, statements I'd never seen. Olivia smiled at Jason with an intimacy that made my stomach twist. Once he signs the revised prenup, she said, we'll be able to move the funds. He won't read it. He never reads details. He trusts too easily. Jason smirked. And when he's out of the picture, you'll have everything you need for the launch. You deserve better anyway. I didn't confront them. I didn't raise my voice. I simply turned away, placed my bag in the hall, showered, and went to sleep because I don't react. I strategized like always. She filed for modification of the prenup 2 weeks later. I signed without hesitation, exactly as she predicted. I played the meek, confused husband at mediation. Her lawyer gloated. Mine played dumb. They thought they were brilliant. They thought I was slow, naive. What Olivia didn't know was that months ago, long before her tone shifted, long before her brother became her shadow, I had already started preparing. Not out of suspicion, but because precaution is second nature in my line of work. My assets were moved, categorized, protected. Military disbursements rerouted. Government allowances separated. Private consultancy payments shielded. Every traceable account was made to look painfully average while the real wealth was buried behind classified structures she couldn't illegally access. I let her believe she'd cornered me. I let her celebrate early. I heard them through thin walls laughing at how easy it was, at how I never questioned anything. They celebrated too soon. The final blow came at a Sunday brunch Olivia insisted on hosting. A chance to end things maturely, she said with a smile too wide to trust. Her parents were there, her father smug, her mother uncomfortable. Jason lounging like he owned the home already. Olivia wore a white dress, the kind meant for new beginnings. Jason started telling a story about when Olivia's life is finally back on track, making sure to glance at me with pity disguised as politeness. I sat quietly, watching the second hand on my watch move toward the moment I'd orchestrated. Right on cue, the front door opened. Lieutenant General Alana Ramirez stepped inside, crisp uniform, polished boots, eyes sharp enough to slice tension in half. Jason's bragging died mid-sentence. Olivia turned pale. The entire room stilled as General Ramirez approached the table. "Special Operative Ethan Walsh," she said clearly, her voice echoing. "You're required at command headquarters. The briefing has been advanced. Transport is waiting outside." Olivia blinked. "Special Operative?" I stood, nodding calmly. "Thank you, General. I'll be there shortly." She saluted. I returned it. She exited, leaving shock suspended in the air. Jason swallowed hard. Olivia's voice trembled. Ethan, what are you?" I straightened my jacket. "I told you," I said softly. "I work with numbers. Just not the kind you ever asked about." Her father leaned forward. "Your military intelligence?" "Among other things," I answered. Olivia's lip quivered. "But the settlement we calculated everything based on." "Yes," I said. "Based on what you believed my income was. Based on the accounts you thought existed." Jason's face drained. "You mean you planned a future," I said, "using money that was never yours to touch." "Your lawyer negotiated percentages of shadows." Olivia's hands trembled violently. "Ethan, wait, please. Just explain." "There's nothing to explain," I said calmly. "You traded honesty for strategy. You thought I wouldn't notice, wouldn't fight, wouldn't think." I leaned slightly closer. "But strategy is what I do best." I placed my napkin gently on the table. "Enjoy what you won. It amounts to nothing." I walked to the door. Jason stood abruptly, as if to block me. One look from me, just one, made him step aside. Fear is louder than words. Outside, General Ramirez waited beside the armored SUV. She smirked. "You handled that with discipline." I exhaled slowly. "Some wars don't need weapons," I said. Just truth. As we drove away, I didn't look back. People mistake silence for surrender. But silence is a blade sharpest when drawn last.